Welcome back to the Circuit Revival, where today we're going to take a look at another MacBook here. So this one's a MacBook Air. It's a A1466 model. It just said it didn't work, so I don't know what that means. But we'll start with, like we did the last time, see whether we can find out if it's doing anything. So if we plug this charger in, so I have here just a MagSafe to USB-C that will then show up on here. Let's see if it does anything. Okay, so that shows a green light down to a red light, and that looks like a normal charge. So do we get anything on the screen? Turn on. Okay, that's dropped when I press the power button. So it looked like it sort of booted there, but nothing on the screen and no sound. Okay, it's just dropped and gone back up again. Okay, I think the screen is trying to work. I think there's possibly an issue with the screen on this. Don't know if I can try and get this in the light. If I press the power button, try and see if I can see, if you guys can see this. It looks like maybe there might be an issue with that. Let me try and see if I can get my phone on this. Put the torch on and see if I can see anything. Okay, I think this... a backlight issue. Can I see a screen? I'm not sure if this might be like a backlight issue, because I think with the light on the screen, like I can't see anything in particular, but there's definitely sort of like an image there. I wonder if I try and shine this through the Apple logo. So I've got okay, we now have a there we go. So you can see hopefully you can see that there's a charge symbol there. If I move my phone away, it's gone. If I put my phone back there, it's back again. So I think there might be a couple of issues with this, because there's definitely a backlight issue because we can see parts on the screen when it's like that, but I don't know why the screen's now turned off. So is there... okay, so we still have like the charge symbol there. So I don't know why it doesn't just keep charging up, because it's got low power. So I think there might be a couple of issues with this. There's definitely an issue with the backlight. We can see that for certain, but then there seems to be an issue sort of maybe with the charging circuit as well, because it will try and charge up, it'll get there and it'll drop back down, although this still shows it's sort of like charging. So we'll get this unplugged, we'll get the bottom off, and we'll take a look. Okay, there's some, I don't know if that's flux on there or what that is, but there's immediately some liquid in this, which is a bit worrying. So what is this? Is this liquid? Or is it flux? In fact, it's still sort of wet. I know it's quite hard. It has got sort of the consistency of flux to it. So I think that is flux. I think there's evidence someone has been in here before. Don't know why there would be flux on there. I think that might be a speaker. So no idea what that is. So we'll do what we did last time. We'll just take a quick look. There is a bunch of gunk around this area here, which I feel might be the Wi-Fi, but that is not good. It's flux, it's not too bad, I suppose. It's sort of water, I don't know, it could be like cola or something, it could be liquid damage. It's around sort of where the fan area is, so there's a chance that's the case. Let's just open this up and have a look down. That area does look pretty clean. Okay, we'll pull the scope round and have a look and see if we can see anything under the scope. Okay, here we are under the scope. We've got, if we go to the area with the liquid first of all, so you can see it there. It looks like maybe something happened underneath this cover. No, maybe just factory flux, nothing underneath there, or maybe just that shielded area stopped it from flowing all the way under. Try and see if we can get this cap back on. So that's the USB areas there. All a bit gunky. Bunch of sort of like liquid and stuff up the top here. And yeah, this makes it looks really bad. So it's quite sticky. I think this might be like a fizzy drink. And I think someone's dropped a fizzy drink on their laptop. They also managed to clean up on the outside, but it's all filled up on the inside here. Okay, we'll start just by trying to see if I can work out where the battery is on this one. It looks like it might just be here. Okay, I think that's the battery disconnected. So we can continue looking around here. So yeah, you can see it starting to corrode away around this. Oh no, maybe it's just gunk on the board. Cap doesn't look too great. Jump around where this is here. Yeah, that's definitely like a fizzy drink, isn't it? Because that is like thick tar. Which makes me think that this might just be sort of game over, unfortunately, before we even begin. Because I don't imagine... So I presume this is the Wi-Fi. Hopefully this cover is sort of protected and it's just sort of stuck to the outside. But if the Wi-Fi is gone, this laptop is sort of gone really, isn't it? It's not got too far underneath this cover. We might be okay. But I wouldn't hold out much hope on that. But we'll continue to look around. This looks like flux. That's liquid. Liquid here. Okay, that's just flux. I can't see anything like else that immediately stands out. So I think what we should probably do is get the board out, have a look, and see whether we can see anything else on the other side. Okay, so I've got the base off here now, and we can kind of see that there are some other liquid spots on this as well. If we just jump over to the scope. So we've got some in the middle here. We'll just give these a little clean up. The fact it's also stiff makes me think that it probably is like fizzy drink or something. Look at the colour of that. That is disgusting. So I'll just put this chassis off to the side and we'll bring in the board itself. So if we go to the underside, here is that area where it was kind of stuck. You can kind of see there's a big splodge of liquid damage here. Now the upside we've got is it doesn't look like it started to corrode anything. He says just as a lift off a sort of corroded patch there. But that looks like just one big ground plane, so we'll just have to try and clean this all up. On the plus side, this area doesn't actually look like there's a component under where it's got wet, so I don't imagine there was a lot that was dropped. Definitely believe it to be some kind of fizzy drink because of the colour and sort of the consistency of it. Okay, looks much better. So look at this area here. I think we might be able to try and scrape some of that stuff out. But I think what we'll do is possibly chuck some flux on this and just heat it up and see if we can kind of burn some of this away. Okay, this chip here, I think, is the backlight driver. There's a chance that maybe all that gunk around that area is what's actually stopping it from working. Doesn't look too bad underneath. Okay, let's just grab our meter and see whether any of this stuff shows a short. Okay, no short there, but doesn't mean anything really. The backlight is still gone. Yeah, that looks a lot cleaner now. Okay, that's all the sort of like gunk and stuff cleaned up there. I'm tempted to see whether maybe there was just an issue with sort of like gunk under the backlight, see whether this sort of like will work now. I'm not going to hold out much hope if I'm being honest, but it seems like it might be worth a go because there was a bunch of rubbish around that area. It could just be that it was sort of shorting out the backlight and that's why it wasn't working, or it could be that the backlight's gone completely kaput. I only say this because I don't have any of those backlight ICs here with me right now, so I would need to order it in anyway. So it's worth a go. So let's get this put back together enough to test it out. Okay, so I think this is back together enough to test now. So we'll flip it over, try to make sure that nothing falls out because not everything is screwed in fully. We'll just open this up and we'll see whether we get an actual backlight or not. No, it doesn't look like it. Let's see whether we have at least something on the screen. Yeah, so we still have that battery charging symbol. You can't quite see it, but it's there, and then it turns off. So there's still obviously a couple of faults with this. Let's get this unplugged again. Part of it, I think the battery is possibly gone. And then the other side is definitely the backlight driver clearly needs replacing. So what I think I'll do then is I think I'll just have to pause this one for now and then order up that backlight IC. And then hopefully when you see this next, it will be here. So it'll be a couple of days for me. It should be right now for you guys. So it's quite hard to see, but it looks good. So I'm just waiting for that to cool down a bit, clean up the last few bits on this board. But let's clear this space up a bit. No. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit more research then. Okay, so it's the next day now. I just had to pause this for a second whilst I did some other bits, but I've come back and I've taken a look. If we just have a look here under the scope, here's the chip we just changed. If I try and get this in focus. Hopefully you can see at that angle there where our problem might be. It's not soldered in place properly, so I'm going to have to remove this. What I might do is just get another pre-balled one, stick this one back in the bag ready to reball in the future and speed it up a bit. So we'll let me just grab a replacement again, and hopefully we'll get it a bit more in line this time. Okay, they all already look much better. So I think maybe that was just the issue, that maybe we just hadn't sat it down properly. So looks like that might be reflowed into place now. Yep, they all look flat down. Let's get this put back together then. Okay, we are back enough to test. Let's just get the charger again and let's see whether we have success. No. Okay, back we go again. Yeah, okay, so I think I've knocked a component out of the way, which might be why this isn't working. So let's try and move that back over to where it should be. So you can see we're back in the area we were, and this resistor here should be on this pad here, because this connects to here, which connects underneath this chip, which means one of those pins are not connected right now. So I'm just going to get my hot air and I'm just going to move that back into place. I don't know when I knocked that over, but it's definitely not going to help anything. There we go. Let's put this back in and try this again then. So fingers crossed this works. If not, I will pass it over to you guys in the comments to let me know where I'm going wrong. No. Okay. So I think we call this one sadly a no fix. So if anyone has any ideas on this, please do let me know. But for now, that brings it up to 5 and leaves us at 13 to 5 there. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you've got some answers for me, and I'll see you in the next one.